Hi guys, today I wanted to talk about character meals for adults without children. Now, oftentimes my clients go to Disney World without kids, and this is just common in general. You'll see tons of people at Disney World without kids. My husband and I do it all the time, and we will continue to do it. So a lot of the times you want to eat at a restaurant that is a character meal, where you're like, is this gonna be awkward if we don't have kids? So I thought I would do a video about that, because that was something that I was a little apprehensive about at first, and I'm sure some other people have had the same question. Is this gonna be weird? So you can totally do it. I think some restaurants are better than others, and in general, they are very good about reading if you want them to stop and talk to you, if you want an autograph, if you want a picture, whatever. Because there are adults, I mean, there are really no adults at Disney World. There are just children and then older children. But there are some adults that go and they wear the ears and they want signatures and stuff like that. And then there are others that are like, just let me eat my meal. I don't want to, you know, that's kind of awkward. I just came here for the food. So I think in general, the characters are very, very good about reading the guests and determining, okay, do they want me to stop or don't they? For example, at Crystal Palace, I went there we had a group of 4 adults, and there was 4 of us, so we did want pictures that time. We didn't take autographs, but we did take pictures. And at Crystal Palace, it's in the Magic Kingdom on Main Street, and it's a buffet, and they have Winnie the Pooh characters. And they knew that we wanted to stop, and you know, they could tell based on our interest when they would come by, and so they would stop and take the picture and, you know, do their whole thing. Now, when we have eaten at Tusker House, which is Donald Duck and Goofy, is there anybody else? There could be somebody else. Mickey's not there, I don't think. But I remember Donald Duck and Goofy. Now that one is a little bit different. Now, when you're waiting outside after you check in for your reservation, they want you to take a picture with Donald Duck, which they then later try to sell you. But we decline, and it's never been a big deal. We're like, oh, that's okay. So it's never been a big deal. We just wait with everybody else who's already taken their picture. And then you go in, and again, it's a buffet. Highly recommend it. Tusker House, love it. And you go in, and like Crystal Palace, characters will come out and will walk around. And again, they kind of gauge your interest. Now there, with just the 2 of us, we've not really, I mean, I think that's kind of awkward with just 2 adults. I don't know. That's just for me. It would not be at all awkward for them. If that is what you want to do, go for it. But I didn't really ever have an interest whenever I've eaten there to take a picture with them. And they'll just kind of like wave at you at first when they're walking by, and we'll just kind of like smile and wave back, and they'll keep going, and that's it. And it's totally fine. It's not weird. But again, they kind of read your interest and see if you want them to stop. The one that I thought was the most awkward was Cinderella's Royal Table, because this one, I'm sure you can decline, but it seemed a little bit more awkward to do so. But when you go and you check in for your reservation, they then have you take a picture with Cinderella. And I'll see if I can pop in a picture of ours. My husband and I went there. And she was totally cool. She didn't like talk to us like we were children. We had just run the race. You'll see we're wearing our race medals. We just run the Wine and Dine Half Marathon the night before, and she kind of talked to us about the race. So it was really, they do a very good job about it, about not making you, like, they don't talk down to you or anything. But then that one just seemed a little bit less conducive to being like, no thanks, I don't want a picture, because then you get the picture later. So then you go upstairs and eat, and then the princesses come out. And I have eaten there, I think twice that I can remember, like as somebody who's older. And both times the princesses were not out while we were there, because they do not constantly, there's enormous blackbird eating on my bird feeder. Sorry. So the princesses they're not constantly out. They come out every so many minutes. So both times I was there, they weren't there, and they were just coming out as we were leaving, and the waiter or waitress, whoever, tells you, you can stay if you want to get a picture. You don't have to leave right away. Well, I mean, we didn't, so we left. So that part was totally fine, because it wasn't so character-y. But again, I would have complete confidence that they would just kind of read you and be like, hey, do you want a picture? Do you not? just kind of wave and then smile and then they'll move on. The other characters don't talk, you know, like if you're at Crystal Palace, the Winnie the Pooh characters, they don't talk, and same for Tusker House. But at the Cinderella's royal table in the castle, they obviously do talk. They're actual princesses. They're people not in like a foam costume, so they're actually talking to you. So in that case, they might say like, oh, do you want a picture? I don't know. I've never seen this. I've not experienced it. But overall, long story short, moral of the story, you can totally do character meals as an adult without kids. It is not weird. There are many other adults there. Do not feel like you have to take pictures with them. And I feel like they don't, it's not at all awkward. But my recommendations for that would be Crystal Palace and Tusker House. I had really good experiences there. It's less great at Cinderella's royal table. It's still not awkward, but the food there is not spectacular anyway, and it's really expensive if you're paying out of pocket, and it's 2 dining credits if you're on the dining plan. We're gonna try Chef Mickey's on this trip, and that is a character meal as well, so we will see how that goes, but I would expect it to be very similar to the Crystal Palace and Tusker House in regard to the interaction with the characters. So I hope that was helpful and maybe put some of your minds at ease if you really wanted to eat at one of those restaurants, but were worried it would be a little strange. So I hope you found this helpful, and thanks for watching. Bye, guys.